Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. We've got a very interesting case study we'd like to bring to you. The two companies participating in this case study are E&G, a leading BIM services provider in the US, and McClure Company, an E&R top 30 mechanical contractor, known for delivering on time and realistic schedules. The case study we'll be presenting today, it really covers optimization of leveraging prefabrication, BIM rack design that delivers on schedule, on time, and on cost. Presenting today will be two folks that are active in the project. I'm Jay Berryhill, the CRO of E&G, and then we have Herman Siegrist, who is our BIM manager for E&G involved in the project, and Jay Strausbaugh, a leading VDC BIM manager at McClure. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the presenters. And Jay, why don't you tell us a little bit about the project?
Will do. Thanks, Jay. Yes, our case study takes us to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where the Penn State Lancaster Med Center. It was a greenfield project with 129 inpatient beds. It had a labor and delivery department, an emergency department, a complete medical and surgical capabilities, as well as imaging and lab services. The Lancaster Med Center was delivered on schedule, despite the pandemic that we had a couple years ago, and it was under budget. The integrated approach as design assist partners enabled us to review the design, cost management, schedule, planning, and complete target value for this project. To construct this project in the expected time frame, the team thoughtfully planned out the workforce on site and really maximized the prefabrication opportunities by designing for prefab on day one. The prefabrication effort also allowed us to control the quality and the safety of work. Some of the prefabrication elements that we had on this project. We had the central utility plant that was completely prefabricated, as well as the multi-trade racks that we're going to speak to, as well as modular head walls, modular operating room ceilings, fully furnished bathroom pods, exterior wall panels, curtain walls, precast parking garage, and also the off-site cup that I just spoke of. We had a great team on this project. McClure Company was in charge of the mechanical piping, plumbing, and sheet metal. PDM supplied all the bathroom pods and panels. Lighthouse Electric provided all the electrical scope. E&G was the VDC service provider in charge of modeling, coordination, spooling, and install drawings for both McClure Company and PDM. And the construction management team was comprised of Barton Mallow and Alexander Building Company. Jerman, you mind giving us some takeaways from the project?
Okay, yeah, well, thank you, Jay. We have a couple of takeaways that I will walk through. As you can see here, we have the design stage, also coordination stage that also involve BIM. And after that, we have the spooling stage, and then we go to the shop where we have the deliverables to the shop, to the fab shop, as well as the labors itself, you know. And after that, we have the construction stage. 4 and 5 will be taken by Jay Strausbaugh, and I will start with the first one. At the beginning, this is a process where we start by identifying the potential repetition. As you can see here, we have a couple of patient rooms that are mirrored each other. So here in this context, we are looking for a common pattern that is it's in the screen. And it's mirror, and so we can start looking for those places. Moving on, in the design stage, we work with designers to try to identify and to look for the opportunities to shape the model and to move those elements closer to the final location of those racks that we will propose. In the plumbing model, as you can see, we have the cold water and the hot water that are at the left side. It's the design intent, and in the right side, you have the final as we have it in the model. And in the middle of the screen, you can see the rack itself. And it's a hard process. We try to streamline and to have as efficient as we can and have the pipes as straight as we can. Here for the mechanical pipe, it was pretty easy because the pipes are located, or they were located very close to the final location of the rack. For the MEP gases was the same. We just adjusted the elevation. And then we have in the ductwork, it was a little bit harder. And we adjusted and shift the VAVs inside the racks, and also we resize a couple of low pressure ducts. And suddenly, yeah, and at the end worked perfectly. Let me move to the next one. This is one of the top recommendations we have for you. As you can see, we recommend you to have a model for each trade and also a model for the racks, because at the end of the day, it really pays off. So having this extra model avoids work losses, helps to organize information, keeps the model healthy and running. Here, I'm going to walk through the count of elements we have in each model, so you have a better idea of the final size of the models. So this is the plumbing model. We have over 252K. In the sheet metal model, we had almost 53,000 elements. As you can see, the screen is fully crowded. On the MEP side, we have almost 30K elements. And as you can see, the racks were 79, and they had almost 60 nested elements per rack. It give us around 4.5 K elements in the model. So if you combine all those together, you have a 140,000 elements. That plus the sheets and everything, all the detailed elements plus the schedules. It's the size of the model. It's super huge, and it will be unmanageable at the end of the project. So that's why we have that recommendation. Moving on to the next stage. On the coordination stage, we have we like to think the rack as a piece of equipment. Why we'll say that, and everything that surrounds the rack needs to be coordinated with it. Here you can see how we coordinated with the structure, with the lighting, with the fire protection, as well as with the clearance that the lighting has. Also, we very often see that the people overlook the head walls, the patient lifts, and the king studs. So that brings us to the next topic, that is we perform the intangible coordination. Why we mean with this? Sometimes with the other prefab structure that we have inside the model, they require space, and they require some lines to go in the building. So for instance, if the pod is 9 feet tall and you have that on wheels, it will require an extra foot to maneuver them. So nothing below 10 feet can be installed before those racks, before those pods go in. So and remember also that the racks will be on wheels as well. So everything needs to be higher than 10 feet. Moving on to the next one. Okay, yeah. We like to say also the detail really matters. Sometimes we have the idea that small, seemingly insignificant details cannot have a major impact at the end of the project, or if it's failure. But that's wrong. If the information that we provide to the shop isn't clear, isn't organized, isn't easy to read or easy to handle, at the end of the day, the shop will have a lot of hesitation and a lot of queries. So that's why we created these deliverables and try to detail as much as possible. Here, as you can see in the screen, I'm showing the framing structure we have. This includes the cut length of the frames, the weights, the quantity. If I move to the piping one, we detail out every single pipe, the fittings, the closure clamps, the valves, the hangers, everything with the quantity. Also, we include to do some calculations, the weights of the pipes and the weight with filled water. And for the sheet metal, it was barely the same, but we added an extra clean floor plan for a clear view. And this information is super helpful for the shop, and it helps at the end of the day. Moving on to the next one, yeah, this is one of the shop takes away. So what we mean with the communication with the shop, we mean with the BDC team and the shop. They need to have an open line of communication with the shop, because they will have questions and we need to answer those questions, or maybe they need to give us a tweak, or they need to incorporate some changes, and that's super helpful. Jay?
Yes, and the way that we achieve that is by having reoccurring meetings. It happened with the construction team, also the fab shop, and our VDC team. These meetings were to ensure that everybody was adequately equipped with the necessary drawings, materials, equipment for prefabricating the racks. Our concise, focused meetings were promoted to promote accountability amongst all the people involved. So some of the things that we like to really focus on in the shop for key takeaways is the workflow efficiency. As you see in some of the pictures, our workflow in the fab shop is set up with stations that create an efficient workflow. The stations look very similar to our VDC drawings, where each station has a different part of the multi-trade rack being constructed. This also allows for a nice, safe working environment. As you can see in the pictures as well, organizing the multi-trade racks is also necessary, so the shipping of the racks are easily accessible. As you can see, the walls, the duct, the pipe, and the electric are all coordinated to create the efficient multi-trade rack. So the next takeaway is to avoid material shorts, especially during the pandemic. It required extra time for some back orders, and sometimes those back orders cause lost shop time. So we worked very hard to have accurate bill of materials so that we could get the material purchased. Multi-trade racks require specialty materials. Some of the clamps and some of the straps are special order for us. So the next takeaway is moving the multi-trade rack from the fab shop to the job site. Our goal is to build the multi-trade rack as big as possible so that we can gain efficiency. But this requires sometimes some special rigging and equipment to move the multi-trade racks. To date, we have not utilized any customized wraps for our multi-trade racks, so we have to base our deliveries on the weather conditions. The other thing we focus on is coordinating our deliveries with the general contractor so that we can utilize the site crane. This allows the job site to not be as congested with more equipment on it. The next takeaway we have is the coordination of the actual moving of the multi-trade rack within the building. The construction stage requires a lot of pre-planning and replanning. It's very important to focus on the upfront coordination. The pathway that is required to get these multi-trade racks in, as well as the prefabricated bathrooms, require coordination with all trades. Coordinating the pathway for the multi-trade rack takes up a lot of space, and as Germain mentioned earlier, the height is very important to make sure that it's that things are not in the way. Another takeaway we have is for the multi-trade racks is to hang it as soon as possible. They will be in the way. Usually the multi-trade racks are the highest prefab that gets installed, so we like to get them in the building and installed first. And as you can see by the picture on the right, when they're all installed, they look awesome. So part of our activities on site was to create a case study for some of the results. We focused on the different stages of the prefabrication, the installation of it, and so we would like to provide some of the results now. So some of the numbers, we experienced a 20% schedule savings. This was due to 50% less workers in the field. And in our direct labor costs, we experienced 30% cost savings for the direct labor. There's also some other savings that it's hard to calculate. And some of that is the safety. We have not had any recordables on our installation of the multi-trade racks, as well as we felt like the quality was better due to the multi-trade racks being built in the fabrication shop. There are a couple of downsides to it. So there is less flexibility for multi-trade racks, and there's a lot of added cost. Some of the clamps and the cost of the actual multi-trade rack frame is added cost, as well as the added cost to install the multi-trade rack once it's on the site and to hang it in the air, as well as facility costs. There's extra trucking, extra lifting, extra material handling, and VDC time. So really, the bottom line is it's hard to find actual dollar savings with prefabrication of multi-trade racks, but we can see cost and schedule certainties throughout the project.
Wow, Jay, those are some great numbers, and it looks like a lot of great lessons learned out of the project. You know, you got the cost certainty. It's always great when a plan comes together, and a lot of risk mitigation for McClure and for all the partners and for the owner in delivering a really complex project. So kudos on that. What are some of the golden rules that you picked up out of this project? Can you explain some of those?
Definitely, yes. We had a lot of takeaways, a lot of what we called golden rules for implementing and continually to improve. Our first rule is put me in, coach. Don't be scared to participate or lead a group that pursues multi-trade racks. And when you do that, consider the following: have some core values for the teams and goals for the project. Realize that planning and developing multi-trade racks and implementing is very time consuming. You will need buy-in, of course, from a lot of different departments, from your fab shop to procurement, project management, everyone. Our second takeaway is don't be scared to ask for help. We had several times on our project where we had a farmer that we bounced a lot of our ideas off of, and he helped us with some basic concepts for building the frames so that they're repetitive, making the wheels so that they're easily installed and uninstalled so that they can be used on several multi-trade racks, and we could repurpose them. Our third takeaway is to build your fantasy team, right? Diversify your team with different backgrounds. Build that team with people who have different fields of expertise as well, but make sure that they have one common theme, and that is innovation. We also found that our team, it worked best when we had accountability meetings to make sure that everyone had that right information and the right time frame to perform their task. And the fourth takeaway is don't stop believing. Frustration is only as big as you make it. Multi-trade racks are a great accomplishment, but there will be challenges and problems that come up along the way. Not everyone will be on board with the prefabrication, but it's okay. You set some goals for yourself, take some baby steps towards those goals, and when you complete and finish the task, it's a great feeling of accomplishment. So in conclusion, I would like to thank everyone and remember how important our projects are for the community. As we were developing this presentation, my mind took me back to the very first meeting that we had with the general contractor and the owner's rep. In the meeting, they were pushing more prefabrication. They discussed the possibilities of multi-trade racks and really encouraged the innovative mindset. During the meeting, I looked up and I saw a picture on the wall. That picture left an impact on me and drove me to surround myself with great partners that are always willing to invest in prefabrication so that we can deliver quality products on time so that the facility can open as early as possible to serve our community. So yes, we utilize a lot of great technology and it's very important, but I must say that the people that are the most important, the people that advance prefab really make the difference. So please remember, our work does transform lives.
All right. Thanks, guys. That was a great story with great results, great partnerships, and encourage everyone, continue to use prefab in your projects. Feel free to reach out to E&G for more information, and have a great day. Thank you.